Marnon is an island realm located in a lost ocean in the far distant past. Powerful warlords there battled for the right to reign over the continent, and these battles raged with such fierceness that the great wizard Peacemaker finally intervened. Now, Peacemaker channeled this competition towards a quest which would select the fittest as the rightful king of the continent, thereby ending the bloodshed forever. And Peacemaker summoned the warlords, giving them 3 treasures: a crown of authority, a treasure chest of wealth, and a magic ring of power. Peacemaker then had the warlords put an identifying mark on each of their treasures, and took the treasures from them and gave them to the enemy warlords, who were instructed to hide them away in the most obscure and treacherous places on the continent. Peacemaker then declared to all that the first lord to regain all of the 3 of their own treasures would be the rightful king of Marnon. So this week's game is Wizard's Quest, and it was designed by Garrett J. Donner and released by Avalon Hill Games in 1979. Let's go through the rules. Now, it's played with 2 to 6 players, and the object is to be the first player to retrieve 3 of all of their own treasures. And it comes with a number of counters, and there are 6 different types of creatures that are represented by these counters. Those include men, heroes, sorcerers, orcs, dragons, and wizards. Now, the hero, sorcerer, and men counters are directly controlled by the players, and the orc, dragon, and wizard counters are controlled by the die. And players have no influence over these counters except through special powers granted by a petition card or through successful battle. Now, orcs and men counters are unlimited, and you can use other counters if you run out. Other pieces are limited to the available counters, that is the hero, sorcerer, dragon, and wizard. Now, the game takes place on the island of Marnon, which is divided into 44 spaces. And these spaces are divided into 6 large regions, which are subdivided into 6 territories. And there's also 8 castles. The castles are no part of any region. Now, there's a special numbering system that identifies the 6 regions and each of their 6 subsequent territories. The 6 regions are numbered 1 through 6, and the 6 territories in each region are also numbered 1 through 6. And spaces in this game are the only place on the board where playing counters can occupy. A counter can't be placed in water or on a bridge. Also, playing counters belonging to different players cannot occupy the same space at the same time, and a hero and sorcerer can't occupy the same space at the same time. Now, the dragon and wizard counters are special in that they can share space with not only each other but with the playing counters. And all of the players' counters or orc counters occupying the same space are called a force. Now, the dragon and wizard counters are never part of a force. Spaces which share part of a common boundary are considered adjacent, while spaces sharing the Amnon River as their only common boundary are not adjacent unless they're connected by a bridge. Also, there's 2 spaces, the Earthen Pass and Marl's Gate space, and they're connected by the Great Tunnel, and those are considered adjacent to each other. A space is considered occupied if at least 1 man, orc, hero, or sorcerer is in the space. It's unoccupied if it's empty or it just has a treasure, wizard, dragon, or any combination of those 3 in it. Also note that there are 5 man counters. Those are simply interchangeable with 5 of the single man counters. To set the game up, you begin with the first player, and then each player in turn places 1 of their men in an unoccupied castle space. Next, 2 orcs are placed in each of the remaining unoccupied castle spaces. Then, 2 orcs are placed in 2 territories in each region using this simple procedure. For orc placement in the first region selected, 2 dice are tossed until the outcome is not doubles, and then 2 orcs are placed in each of 2 territories in the region whose numbers match that toss. For example, if a 2 and a 6 were tossed for Golden Dunes, 2 orcs will be placed in both Dewberry and 2 in Red Dune. And you repeat these steps to place orcs in 2 territories until been placed in all 5 remaining regions. Then men are placed on the board, and beginning with the first player, players in turn place 1 man in an unoccupied territory on the board, and this placement continues until no empty spaces remain. Then after all the spaces have been filled, the players pass their 3 treasures to the player on their left. That player turns them over so that they're hidden, and then, going around the table, players place the treasure face down in any castle space except that that's owned by the treasure's original owner. Players then repeat this procedure for each of the remaining 2 treasures. And these treasures can be placed in any territory, but not a castle space that's not occupied by a treasure's owner. Now, 2 treasures may never be in the same space at the same point in time, even if a petition card allows a treasure to be moved at a later time. And upon conclusion of the treasure placement, each player in turn, beginning with the first player, places 10 men in any of the spaces that they already occupy. All 10 men are placed at the same time, but they don't have to be placed together. Now, anytime a player receives 2 or more men to place on the board, they can substitute either the hero or the sorcerer for 2 men, or even substitute both for men. And this can be done at the beginning of 10-man placement. However, a player can never have more than 1 sorcerer and 1 hero on the board at the same time. Now, the players play turns until the game is won or lost. There's no set number of turns. However, every turn has a sequence of play. The first phase is an orc phase. There's an orc generation where orcs are placed on the board, followed by an orc frenzy where the orcs attack, followed by orc placement where replacement orcs are brought in. This is followed by a dragon attack phase where the dragon randomly attacks, followed by the wizard prosper phase where the wizard attempts to make a region more peaceful and prosperous, and followed by determination of who the first player in that turn will be. Play then goes around from individual player to individual player, in which each in turn does 3 things. They select and play petition cards, they draw reinforcements, and they make attack campaigns against adjacent regions. Now let's go into the orc phase in a little more detail. The first phase of every turn is the orc generation phase, and it starts with the first player rolling a die to determine where they will place orcs. They then add 1 orc to each orc-occupied territory in that region, as well as 1 orc to each orc-occupied castle adjacent to that region. The next player then does the same thing until all the players have added orcs to territories. And there can never be more than 4 orcs in a territory. If there's already 4 orcs there, no further orcs are needed. Orcs then go into a frenzy. And so once orcs are generated, all orcs in territories with 4 orcs in them frenzy and attack players' men in adjacent spaces. Now, frenzies start with the lowest numbered territory in the lowest number region, with 4 orcs in it, and they move upward. Now, once all the spaces with 4 orcs of them have frenzied, the lowest number castle with 4 orcs in it frenzies. Then this is followed by a higher numbered castle. Once they resolved orc frenzies in all the territories and castles of a region, you move to the next region. Now, orcs attack territories in a particular order. They start with the lowest number space in the lowest number region, they make an attack, and then they move to the next territory in a clockwise direction. And if a territory is empty, contains other orcs, or contains the wizard, that territory is not attacked, and the orcs skip to the next region. If the territory contains either a hero or a dragon counter, the orcs also skip attacking that territory. But if it contains just player men, the frenzied orcs make their attack. Now, if this attack is successful and the defending force is slain, 1 orc moves into the vacated territory, and as long as there are 2 orcs in the original territory, attacks continue in a clockwise fashion. Now, this continues until only a single orc counter is left in the original territory, at which time the orcs are no longer riled up and their attacks cease. Now, remember that the great tunnel spaces are considered adjacent. Therefore, orcs with frenzy from a tunnel space can attack through the tunnel, but only after they've attacked all other spaces adjacent to the frenzy space. A space across the Amnon River is also considered adjacent if it's connected by a bridge. The third step of the orc phase is the orc placement. After all orc frenzies are resolved, all unoccupied spaces on the board receive 1 orc counter, including those in a region that's occupied by a wizard. The second phase is the dragon attack phase. And during the dragon attack phase, 1 player rolls a die to see which region the dragon will travel to, and another player rolls a second die to see which territory of that region the dragon lands in. When the dragon lands in a territory, 1 die is rolled to determine how many men, heroes, or sorcerers, never to exceed the total force, in that space are gobbled up and removed from play. Men and orcs are always gobbled first, followed by heroes, followed by sorcerers. Now, if only orcs are gobbled, the dragon continues to move and gobble again until it lands in a space occupied by at least 1 man, hero, or sorcerer. And the wizard's never gobbled by the dragon. The third phase is the wizard prosper phase. Now, the wizard counter makes 1 move in the wizard prosper phase in the same fashion as the dragon. And the territory in which that wizard counter moves prospers, receiving 3 men if a player occupied the territory, or 3 orcs up to that maximum of 4 orcs if it's an orc-occupied territory. And unoccupied territories can never be prospered. Now, the wizard also protects all territories within that region, and no attacks can take place between forces in 2 territories within that region. However, forces in territories outside the region can attack territories in the wizard's region. And the wizard can be attacked, but the forces attacking the wizard must be attacking from a territory outside of that wizard's region. Next, we determine who the first player be in the turn. And all players roll 2 die, and the player with the highest roll is the first player. And then the play moves around the table in a clockwise fashion. Then each player takes their turn. The first part of the individual player phase is the petition card selection, and a player decides whether or not to draw 1 petition card from the petition deck. And these represent petitions to the wizard peacemaker for some sort of valuable boon. Now they can be played or saved for later use unless the card stays to play it immediately. And only 2 cards can be saved at any given time. If a third card's drawn, one of the 3 cards has to be either played or discarded. Now remember that players are always free to play more than 1 card at a time, and sometimes can do this for an additive effect. Now once a card's played, it's placed in the discard pile, and if the last card of the petition deck is drawn, the discard pile is shuffled and the cards are placed in a new petition deck. Now, there's a few specific clarifications on cards that I think I need to point out. All awards of men are added to the player's reinforcement pool for the turn, and they're placed during the reinforcement phase. Now, extra campaigns are used after the initial attack campaign of the player's turn has been completed. Now, some cards say give 6 extra men if they're currently less than 7 units on the board. So when figuring this, remember that the heroes and sorcerer counters do count as individual pieces, and the 5-man counters count as 5-unit pieces. Now, certain cards also state, I give you 1 extra man, but save this card for boat privileges. And when played, the player receives 1 extra man, and they keep the card face up in front of them to be used for boat privileges at a later time. Now, these don't count towards the 2-card hand, and a player can keep any number of these boat cards. By playing the boat privileges card, the player can move or attack from a space bordering the Sea of Marnen or Amnon River to another space bordering the same body of water, and once this is done, the card is discarded. Next is the reinforcement phase, and during their turn, every player receives a certain number of reinforcements based on the number of kingdoms that they control. A kingdom is defined as an individual castle that a player occupies, or a castle in all the connected territories, that is, adjacent player-occupied territories, that can be traced from a player's occupied castle. Now note that the Great Tunnel territories and the territories connected by bridges are considered adjacent, but bridgeless river territories are not. Now, the number of men received as a reinforcement equals the total number of kingdom spaces that the player occupies. However, spaces can only be counted once, even if the territory is linked by 2 castles. And once the reinforcements are added to the pool, along with any gain during petition card play, these units are placed on the map in any territory that the player has units. Now, players can never receive less than 4 men as reinforcements per turn, even if they have less than 4 total territories in a kingdom. Finally, the player can make their attacks, and these are called attack campaigns. Generally, each player is allowed 1 attack per turn. However, certain playing cards, or making attack against a wizard or dragon, can allow for an additional attack in a single turn. Attacks are made from a friendly territory into an enemy territory. However, players may have units in other friendly territories adjacent to that enemy territory that can add units to the battle. And attacks continue until either the enemy space becomes unoccupied, in which case the attacking player must move at least 1 unit in the now vacant space if possible, the attacking player has no more forces to attack with, or the player chooses to stop attacking, which must be done before resolving any battles. At the start of an attack, the player's hero or sorcerer can be moved from any territory on the board into the territory that the player is attacking from, and neither the hero nor the sorcerer can be in the same territory at the same time. However, their places can be switched at the start of an attack. Now, the rules aren't real clear about heroes and sorcerers attacking together if they're in adjacent friendly spaces. I've made the house rule that you can't use both the hero and sorcerer in any given attack. Now, an occupied territory can never be voluntarily left unoccupied. If there's only 1 counter in the friendly attacking territory, it can't be moved into the adjacent vacant territory. If there are a number of counters capturing a vacant territory, as many of these counters as desired can move into that territory, as long as at least 1 unit's left behind in the original territory. Now, both the dragon or wizard can be attacked. However, whether this attack is a free attack, in addition to the normal single attack that a player gets during a turn, is dependent on several factors. First, if the dragon or wizard's in an adjacent unoccupied territory, a player makes a normal attack against them. Next, if the dragon or wizard's in an adjacent occupied territory, the player must first attack them with a free attack. And if the dragon or wizard's removed, the player may then make a normal attack against the rest of the units in that space. Now, kicking the wizard out to another hex is the one way to attack the normal units that he was protecting. Now, if the wizard or dragon's in a territory occupied by the attacking player, the player may make a free attack to kick them out of the territory, but only with the force in that territory. Friendly units in adjacent territories can't help. And the player is then free to make their normal attacks for the turn, whether this initial attack was successful or not. Now, during their attack phase, players can make as many attacks against the wizard as they wish. And note that only a force that contains either the hero or sorcerer can attack the dragon, and only a force that contains the sorcerer can attack the wizard. And if the dragon is defeated and a hero was involved and not slain in that combat, the player immediately receives 6 additional men, which they can immediately place in friendly territories of their choice. The dragon counter is then set aside until the dragon placement phase of the next turn. Now, if either the dragon or wizard's defeated and the sorcerer is involved, the victorious player gets to move the vanquished foe to a region of their choice, and they must then roll a die to randomly determine what territory in that region they'll place the foe. The dragon will then gobble any units in that territory, while the wizard will immediately prosper any units in the region by 3 men or orcs respectively. And remember the 4 orc stacking limit. Battle resolution in this game is fairly simple. Players can make as many attacks as they wish in an attack campaign, and fighting continues until 1, that if it's a dragon or wizard, they're defeated, and or all defending units in an area are defeated. The player's down to a single attacking unit, or finally the player wishes to break off combat at their own discretion. Now, to resolve combat, the player rolls a die, and another player rolls a die for the enemy that the attacker is up against. And in order to score a hit against the adversary, the player must roll within the die range of the attacking force. If they roll above this range, they don't hit the foe. And hit units are removed from play, though they may come back as reinforcements at a later time. Now, men and orcs have a die range equal to the number of units in the territory. Thus, if 4 men or orcs were attacking and they rolled a 5, they wouldn't do any damage. However, if they rolled a 2, they would remove 2 enemy units. Now, if both sides roll out of their die range, the attacker loses 1 unit. Now, like orcs, men have a maximum die range of 4. And heroes have a die range of 1 by themselves, and they can add 1 to a group of men that they're stacked with. And note that in this case, they can exceed that maximum die range of a group of men. Thus, a hero and a group of 4 men would have a die range of 5. Now, the sorcerers have a die range of 2 by themselves, and they can add 2 to a group of men that they're stacked with. And again, note that they can exceed that maximum die range of the group of men. Thus, a hero and a group of 4 men could have a die range of 6. Now, specifically, the dragon and wizard have a die range of 6, thus they hit on any result, and they remove the same number of units equal to that die result. Thus, if a dragon rolled a 3, the player would have to remove 3 units. If they only had 2 units in the territory, both of those units would have to be removed. Now, forces defending in the Misty Forest, the Crystal Mountains, and the Ancient Forest add 1 to their die range when they're defending, but not attacking. And forces defending in castles, through the Great Tunnel, or across a river, not where there's no bridge, add 2 to their die range. Again, this only applies when they're defending. Now, in the mixed forces, men, the sorcerer, and the heroes each count as 1 unit, and the player has the option of which unit they wish to remove first, though it generally behooves them to remove men before removing the special units. And finally, the hero and sorcerer have several special powers in combat. Now, any force that has a hero stacked with it can only be attacked by another force that has either another hero or a dragon stacked with them. And if a player conducts an attack with a force that includes a sorcerer, any losses that they inflict are not removed from the board. Rather, they're dispersed by the attacker into unoccupied spaces and or spaces that belong to another defender. And this can result in additional combat. Now, in the rare case that the defender can't be dispersed, these units are simply eliminated from play. And if a player loses all of their units, they're no longer in the game. A couple of quick notes on treasure. If a player captures a territory with their specific treasure in it, they reveal what that treasure is, and they remove it from the board. Now, if the treasure was a chest, the player immediately receives 4 men in that territory. If the treasure was a crown, they receive 3 men in any territories that they occupy. And if the treasure was a magic ring, they get to draw a petition card. Note that the 2 card hand limit still applies, and a 3rd card must either be played or discarded. And if the card specifically requires a loss of reinforcements, you simply discard the card and the player doesn't get another draw. If they capture a territory with another player's treasure in it, they simply leave the treasure in that space. Now, once a player captures their 3rd treasure, play ends, and that player is the winner. Alrighty, this is Wizard's Quest, and we're going to play a 3-player game with red, blue, and yellow, or blue, red, and yellow. And I'm just going to go ahead and pull some pieces up here. Just to represent, there's blue, here's red, and here's yellow. Okay. And I used to think this was a really ugly map, but as time's gone on, it's really grown on me. And now I really like it. But and it looks better in person when you get the actual physical map out. It looks really good. So let's start with player placement. We'll start with blue. And you place 1 unit on a castle. And I think these center castles are going to be your best bet. So we're just going to put blue there. Then we're going to go to red and place red's players here. Like I said, I wish they would put a solitaire mode in on this. If I was energetic, I would do that, but that's some work. Vassal's not straightforward to program with. It's a little bit tricky, so it takes a little bit of thinking. Actually, I'm going to move yellow down here, I think. Okay, so I've set my 3 castles. Now I set the orcs in play, and we're going to put those guys. Let's just, I think, 2 go on a castle, or all the rest of the castles, I guess. Let me double check that. Yeah, 2 in every unoccupied castle. Always worth double checking. So we'll put those guys down here. And hopefully you guys can see this okay. Okay. Now we roll for every area and put orcs in play. So we'll start with area 1, and we're going to put them in 2 and 4. Let me just move these guys down here. 2 and 4. Area 2, we're going to go to 2 and 3. Area 3, we're going to go to 6 and 4. Area 4, 2 and 4. And there's 2 Dreadmore. Area 5, 3 and 5. 3 and 5. And that's it. Area 6. I'm short 2. Okay, that's fine. 3 and 6. So we'll pull some from the pieces here. And 6. Where are you? 6. Breakneck. Okay. Let's see if that makes everything look okay. I don't think I left any. I think I got shorted 2 pieces, but that's okay. Now we're going to place the rest of the player pieces in place. We'll start with yellow. We'll let yellow go over here first. Bring up yellow's player card. And I'm going to shrink that down just a little bit here. It's awful big. So yellow places a piece. This is the time where you get to build your kingdoms. We'll go with blue. And blue's going to build his kingdom. Oh, blue's kind of stuck there. Okay. And then red. I think as red, I see an opportunity to be rough on blue here. So we'll put it right there. Okay. And then back to yellow. This will take a little while. Here. Blue. Build my kingdom this way. Oh, Great Tunnel. Yeah, that's a good place. Yellow. Or red goes next. Am I out of order? Hold on a second. I got 1, 2. I've placed 2 yellows. I've placed 1 red. So red's the next in turn. Okay. Where's red's? Oh, red's down here. Okay. Let's go back here. this will get a little bit out of order. We'll go here. No, we'll go here. Probably want to keep these defensible places first if we can. Okay, now we're back to yellow. Everybody will eventually get a chance, but we'll try to keep it according to the rules. North Hemp. We'll go to Flatshire. It seems like everybody's fighting over the Crystal Mountains quite a bit. That seems to be kind of the place to control. Okay, retire. Back to blue. Again, sorry about the setup here, getting a little bit out of whack. I get to talking and then... Yeah, one thing I have noticed about this, video production is actually a little more challenging than you think. I always think you can just sit and record, and I suppose the really talented people can, but sometimes it's like walking and chewing gum at the same time for me. Figure that most people don't just want to listen to silence. Of course, in the longer play, it kind of gets to that place at times, but... And trying to keep the rules straight in your head, that's the other thing. That's why I'll often make rules errors. I think the biggest part is just because I'm trying to keep track of the game and play and keeping track of the rules and also providing some commentary at the same time. So that's when the rules kind of get lost. And I do try to keep these fairly organic. I try not to sit there and refer to the rules all the time. It makes for a really... That makes for a really hard play for me. It's pretty exhausting to do that. Plus, I don't think it's that entertaining. It's less entertaining, and it... I'm losing my train of thought here now. And it just doesn't work. Also, editing rules. Editing playthroughs, I think, is really one of those things that's not great to do. That's why, again, I try to keep it fairly organic, and so that's why there's errors in it. Okay. Yeah, editing's time consuming. I think that's the one thing. I enjoy it. It's kind of relaxing to do, but it's a pretty time consuming process here. Okay. Whoops. I just went with blue. Red. Now the thing I ought to be doing is putting at least one guy by castles, because that's where I'm going to start to put treasures. Let's see, yellow. But yeah, the editing process is actually, I enjoy it, but it is time consuming. I could edit about a minute of this for 10 minutes of editing time, so. I think the surprising thing about this game is that there's quite a bit of strategy to it. It's kind of got some strategic. It's kind of a risk type game, but it's got a certain degree of strategy. That's, like I say, I like this game. I've played it with my son a few months back and really had a good time. And I've played it with about 4 people once, and that was a lot of fun. It was a snowy day. We were all snowed in playing this. Good times. There. Don't know why I didn't think of that. You guys that play this a lot are probably watching this going, why is he doing that? Okay, I think, let's see if we've got all the areas covered. Everything in Area 1's covered. Area 2 is covered. Area 3 is covered. Area 4. Where's 4? 4 is covered here. Yeah. 5. Okay, and 6. All these are covered. It's kind of hard to... One thing about these is these mountain borders are kind of hard to see. Okay, now we can go back to... That was red that just played, so now yellow gets to go, and they get to replace... Oh, first of all, we got to place our treasures. I forgot about that. So we're going to say yellow is going to place... Let's open up yellow here. And I will just say red's going to place the treasures. We'll just flip these guys. Mask them. So if I was red, let's see, where would I place yellow's treasures? Well, yellow's got their main castle here. Let's put it way over here. Make them work for it. We'll place the other yellow over here. Let's see, we placed it in one castle. Red will place it here. And the third one we want to place down here. Okay, now we're going to place, and we'll just go through and place them in the tough place to play. So blue is going to place there. Okay. I got a cat that wants in my lap, as always. Okay, where is it going to be hard on blue? We'll put it blue there. We'll put blue here, and we'll put the third blue here, and then finally red. Like I say, we're kind of playing this as solitaire just to make it an interesting game. Mask. We'll put these guys here, and where would red be? There's a good bad place for red. Okay, now 2 other regions. There, and just trying to find a place, and there. Oh, that's right next to red. Okay, red's placed pretty well in this game. I guess down there. I will place them there. Okay. Now we put our 10 pieces. We'll just say, I think yellow. It was yellow's turn to place guys. So, and 1. Let's see. I think we'll start by placing a. We'll place a guy down here. And I'm just going to go ahead and place them all at once here. This is getting kind of, probably you guys are getting bored watching me just kind of, so we're going to, let's see, if I was yellow, I think I'm going to build my kingdom up down here. And you'd actually be going around in circles with these guys, but I'm going to, like I say, we're just going to make this a little more expedient. Okay, this guy will probably lose, but that's okay. We want to keep our core kingdom going here. Not sure. I think that'll be okay. Okay, then blue's gonna. will build up there, and then red. Let's see. This is the heart of Red's kingdom. Red's kind of at a little bit of a disadvantage here. Okay. Actually, I think I'll go here. Maybe I can take that castle. Okay, I think that's set up. I think everybody's set up, and we are ready to start to play here. Okay, we are ready to go with turn 1 here, and we can start with the orc placement phase. I've set all 3 players here. I've set up, as a reminder, blue, red, and yellow. That's going to be their turn order. This is just, instead of rolling the die each time, I'm just going to do that. And then at the end of the turn, I'll just move blue over here, and then red will get to go first, and so on. Okay, so placing these orcs. Blue's going to roll, and they get a 2, so they're going to place an orc in every region in 2. And that they have. There's not much there, okay. And then 1 adjacent region, which is going to be this castle up here. Red's going to go, and they're going to place in region 1, so they get here, and here, and here. And then yellow rolls, and they're going to place here in region 1 also. So we'll get an orc frenzy out of region 1. It's more fun when it's coming out of the Crystal Mountains in the middle. That seems to be the pretty contested territory in this game. Okay, so we can start with our orc frenzies, and we're going to start with area 1, and we'll go against territory 1 here. So these orcs are going to move. Now, the rules aren't real clear whether you attack and then you move, and then you attack and you move. And doing a little more research, I think what happens is you play this until one side either wins or loses, then move to this one, and so on. So we'll go that way. So we've got 4 for the orcs and 1 for the men, which is blue. The orcs get a 3, the men get a 5. So the men don't do anything, but the orcs do. So they can take this piece off, and they move a piece into here. Okay, then we're going to move, we can move clockwise. We don't go to the, this would be the next region, but we still stay clockwise. So it's going to be 3 and 3. And we get a 4 and 6, so the orcs lose this. And we get a 1 and 3. So both sides lose. And then we get a 1 and 2. So the orcs get it, both sides again lose. And now in this case, with the Orc Frenzies, I don't think you can actually move into that castle. If I had a second one, I don't think they can move in there. So, okay, we go to Golden Dunes, and Golden Dunes can't do anything there, can't do anything there. We're going to move against this region here. So we get a 4 and a 1, and both sides make it. So both sides make some damage, and we move a guy into here. Okay, over here, we're going to start with Britain, and we have a 4 and 1. Neither side gets it, so the orcs go. We have a 3 and 1, so he's here, and we move an orc in here. Okay, and that ends all the frenzies. Now we can place our orcs replacements, so we put an orc here in an empty area, and no other empty areas. Okay. And that ends the orc phase. Next we drop our dragon. And dragon's going to go to 3-3. So area 3, number 3. I think that's Marl's Gate. Nope, it's Misty Forest down here. Okay. Oh, red took the hit. Okay. And then the dragon sees what he gobbles. Where you at, dragon? Okay. And we roll 1 die and get 2. So 2 of these guys are eliminated. And then Peacemaker goes in. What a... They didn't think too much about that name, but that's okay. 6 and 5. So Area 6 is going to be under Peacemaker's control. Wind 4 is going to be the area. And Peacemaker gives you... I also have to check here. I think he gives you 3. Gonna double check just to be right on this. 3 men, yeah. Okay, so Peacemaker's here, so we get 3 extra men. And I'm just gonna change this out. To be 5. Okay. And so that ends those preliminaries. Now we can go with the player turns, and blue is our first player. So we'll retire till we get to blue. And this goes a little bit slow. Blue's going to draw a petition card, and the petition card, you may send the dragon to the region of your choice. You toss 1 die to determine territory. Okay, and see who he gobbles. Gobbles. I'm going to send him down here. Pretty good chance that, well, I've got a treasure there. Don't have any blue in this area, and do have a treasure. Let's go with area 6. So we're going to roll a die to see 3. And so here he goes. And he gobbles 4, so he gobbles these guys. Now, since he ended up in a goblin area or a orc area, I call those orcs goblins all the time. He gets to go again, and 2. And so he'll go down here, and he gobbles 2, and then that'll end his movement. Okay, so the dragon did his thing. And I think that's my petition card. I don't think there's anything else left on that petition card. Yeah, so we'll just flip that over. We don't want to return it to the deck because it'll just keep coming back. So we want to run through the deck at least once. Okay, now blue gets to reinforce. And for a reinforcement, let me see, where's our, okay, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I think we're going to use my, I'm going to play this for 2. That leaves me with 3 more. Actually, put him here. 2 and 3 more. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Maybe I can try to take a castle there. Okay, I got 1 attack to make, and I'm going to go against Gaudy Green. Gaudy Green has, so we're going to attack with, normally we attack with 4, but we've got the hero, so that gives us 5. So we're going to go 5 to 3, and so these guys take a hit. Then we're going to go with, again, we still have 5 to 3, and red takes a hit. We now have 5 to 2, so both sides take a hit. And then I have 4 to 1, and these guys take a hit. So then we're going to move forward here. I think I'll keep the, well, we'll keep him in there. Okay, and that ends blue's turn. We can retire to red, and red will start with a, get a petition card. Red has, I give you 2 extra men, so we'll take it. I'm just going to flip that. So red's going to get 2 men, so they would get 2 extra men. Now, they're going to get 2 men for the card plus the 4, so they're going to get 6 men. Take my sorcerer here. Let's see. No attacks in here, so I can't attack. And I can't attack out. So let's just go 1, and then I said 6, so that's 4 more guys I get. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll place these guys here. Where am I going to place them? I'd like to get this castle up here. That will give me quite a bit more wiggle room. And I think I want my sorcerer down here. Okay, there we go. So I'll make our 1 campaign here against this guy. It should be pretty easy. 4 to 1. Actually, this is going to be a 2. Sometimes I forget the terrain advantage, so forgive me if I do that in the future. So 2 for the goblin or the orc, and 4 for the attacker. So which would be the max. Okay. 1 and 3. So this guy's eliminated, and we're going to move 2 in here. It doesn't do anything with the treasure, but it's going to give me quite a bit more. This is going to give me 3 more areas, hopefully next time, next turn. I think that's it for the for red. Now we go with yellow. Let's go to yellow, and we'll pull yellows up here, and we'll pull a petition card. I give you 3 extra men. Okay. Oh, it went back. That's okay. Yellow has going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 men. Okay. So we'll take our fiber, and I'm going to take a 1, and then I'm going to take my come on, get to the top here. Okay, so for 10, there's 2, 4, 5, 10. Okay, now where do I want to put these guys? I think what I'll do, I like the idea of I can't attack internally here. I can make that internal attack here. And so by doing that, let me make sure that that's I think that internal attack, let's just double check here. If I'm attacking internally against the dragon or wizard, is that going to give me an extra? Dragons in a territory occupied, the player may make a free attack to kick them out of the territory, but only with the force in that territory. Okay. And so that would give me, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make that internal attack here. And if I do that, I'll get 6 men by kicking him out. And then I'll make my other attack here, because this will be my regular attack. So let's start with that internal attack, and that's going to be 5 to 6. No, yeah, 5 to 6. Okay, 5 to 6, so both sides take a hit. And that goes out, and it sends the dragon flying off. So he goes away for the turn. We'll just put him out to the sea here. Now that gives me 6 extra men. For the dragon. And that's it. This using the wizard in the area to make that piece is kind of it's a kludgy rule. I don't really care for it. It ought to be, they ought to just give a defense or something to slow everybody down. But that's okay. Okay, put the guy up here. Now these guys are going to attack against here, so it's going to be 6-2, and that eliminates him, and then 6-1 eliminates him, and we're going to move into the area with those guys. Okay, that's yellow's turn. I think I got that right. It got a little complex with the hero fighting in there, but I think the hero's the only one that can take the dragon. I have to try to remember that. Okay. That, I think, is going to end the turn. So that's turn 1. Yellow's got a pretty clear advantage to this, but the goblins could change all that pretty fast. Okay, we'll save it and come back. Alrighty, back with the second turn here, and we are going to start with the orc generation phase. So player 1 will go and rolls a 2. So Whisper Meadows will gain an orc in each area. We check adjacent castles. Okay, this castle's adjacent, so we can put orcs there. This castle's occupied. This castle's adjacent, so we can put an orc here. Okay, next player 2 will go with a 6, so that's the Crystal Mountains. This one's full, so nothing there. We can put a guy here. That's it. Okay, and then third player goes with a 2, and Whisper Meadows gets another one. So this guy's filled up, and this guy's filled up. Okay, so we've got 4 areas that a frenzy will occur in: here, 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 and here. And we will start with the lowest numbered. Let's see, Sheepmead is sitting at 3, and Portston Moor is sitting at 2. So this would be where we would start, and we would start with Heatherlawn and then work our way around clockwise. So we'll start with Heatherlawn. It's open territory, so that doesn't modify. So the orcs will be fighting with 4. The men will be fighting with 3. So we get a 1 and a 4. So the orcs hit. We'll now be going 4 and 2. Both sides will hit this time. And then finally 3 and 1. Neither side hits, so that hits the orcs. 2 and 1. Neither side hits, so that hits the orcs. And that ends. They have their single guy there, so that ends that combat. Okay, next we're going to go against Sheepmead, and Sheepmead will start here with Heatherlawn, and we're going to go 4 and 1, 6 and 2, neither side, so the orcs lose. We go 3 and 1, both sides will lose at this point, and that leaves Heatherlawn open, so we'll move that orc in. I have a tendency to call these goblins. I guess you've said that before. Okay, now this is Castle 4, this is Castle 2, so we'll start with Castle 2. And Oxleaf is at 5, so that's where we'll start. 4 and 2. Both sides take a guy out. 3 and 1. Neither side, so this guy goes. And then 2 and 1. Neither side, so this guy goes. And that ends the orc frenzies. Okay, any empty areas? Yeah. So there's an empty... Oh, we still got this guy to go. And he'll start up here at Ancient Forest, Fingal. Now, this will be 4 and 1, but he's in a forest, so that counts as 2. Excuse me. So 4 and 2. Well, that takes him out. Okay. He goes here. We can move around. That skips here. This is empty, and there's nobody else around, so that ends that frenzy. And now we go ahead and allocate some orcs. This area is empty, so we put an orc there. Any more orcs? Nope. Okay. I was thinking back here, if he would have attacked here, he wouldn't be able to attack because there's a hero there. So, okay, now the old dragon. Dragon goes to area 1, number 4, which is an orc area, and gobbles to the orcs. Since it's an orc area, he gets to go again. Goes to area 3-1. Let's see, 3. That's the forest down here. And one is, I think it's Moss Glen. Okay. Flies to Moss Glen and gobbles, oh, all these guys. Okay, Wizard gets to go. 6 and 5, so he stays in Crystal Mountains. Oh, he stays in the same area. Okay, gives me 3 more guys there. And that ends the Wizard's turn. Okay, now we're going to determine turn order, and we're just going to move blue to the end. Or no, let's see, blue will go second. So blue started out, so we move yellow up, I guess. I apologize for that. So yellow gets first turn, followed by blue, followed by red. Okay, for yellows, card selection. They'll start with card selection. Yellow. Get a petition card and yellow. And yellow is going to get, I give you 6 extra men if you currently have less than 7 pieces, which they don't. Otherwise, use this for an extra attack campaign. So we'll use that for the extra attack campaign. Where am I going to go? My initial campaign is going to be, yellow's in pretty good shape here. I could attack in here. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use this as my initial attack. And we're going to move these guys. No, I'm not. I don't. Hold on a second. Let's think here. I've only got 1. That would give me 3 to 6. I'd have to roll under a 3. I got a 50-50 chance. Well, that would be 2, because if I moved him here, that would give me 2. It gives me a 1/3 chance. Not the best. Oh, I get reinforcements. Derp, derp, derp. I forgot. Okay. Let's check and see how many. I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 reinforcements. So there's 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, let's think about this. Okay, I'm going to definitely hit the dragon here. That's going to be important. And then my second attack that I got, I get here, here, or here. I think I'm going to go out. Porston Moor looks pretty weak, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to go with my those guys there. Let's okay. We're going to switch these guys. Then I've got 5 there, and then the rest of the guys are going to go here, 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 and here. And I think he can attack out, even though the wizard's there. He just can't attack in. So we'll start here attacking the dragon. And I've got my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the dragon has 6. So we do 6 and 6. And I got a 6 and a 5, so both sides go. So the dragon will be moved. Or no, he's gone for the turn. And then we'll move over here. And then that gives me 6 other guys. And we'll put them here and here. Okay, that works pretty well. I'm going to use my second attack here. And we're going to go against this guy here. So we've got 3, 4, 5. Oh, that's worth, yeah. No, that guy's worth 5. So we've got 2, 3, 4, 5 to 1. So 6 to 1. And this guy is sent to this territory. And then we'll move in here. I'll stay there. And then this guy will go, this orc will fight with a 1 to 2. Actually, this will get 3. So orc needs a 1 and a 3. So the orc is a loss here. Okay. So 5 guys there. And I think that ends yellow's turn here. Okay, blue's going next, and blue's going to draw a card. Hopefully I'm not confusing you guys too much. I always feel like I'm playing confusingly in these, but I apologize. You may send me, Peacemaker the Wizard, to the region of your choice, and then toss 1 die to determine the territory. I will prosper it by adding 3 men or orcs. I think I want to send it to a blue area as much as possible. Where's my blue? I could either get a bunch of orcs here or not many orcs down here. I think I'm going to go Whispering Meadows. And we'll see where he ends up in 1, okay? So yeah, we get 3 orcs, right? Was it 3? Yeah, 3 orcs. Two and 3, and this area is now peaceful. Okay. Blue guy gets reinforcements, and blue's reinforcements are going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, here we go. I know what we want to do here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll max those guys out, and then we'll defend a little bit there. So that's blues. I've added blues. Now blue's going to attempt to take Sheep Mead. The orcs have 1, and these guys have 6. So we roll a 4 and a 1. So blue takes a hit, but this guy's out of there. And we take our first treasure, and it's going to be a treasure chest. Treasure chests have 4 men in that territory. Okay, we'll add those 4 men. And I'll just put a 5 here and change that out. And that's blue's turn. Now we go with red. Red's got the final turn. Red is down to, okay, we got a castle kingdom here, so we got 1, 2, plus here we got 3, 4. So we get 4 guys. Oh, we got to take our card first. Always kind of forget that. You may move 1 opponent's treasure from its current space on the board to any which does not already contain a treasure. Okay. Who looks like they're ready to get a treasure? Blue's not looking like they're going to get any more. Red, I can move red's treasure to any other space. Well, that works out fairly well for me. Let's just move it here. Then I get my guys. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we're going to attack Fingal. Now, yeah, there's no wizard there. It's in the woods, so the orcs get a 1. So the orcs have 2, and then I have 4. 4 to 2. 6 to 6, so I lose a guy. Try it again. 4 to 2. 2 and 2, so we lose 1 of each. And we can move into this area and unmask our treasure. It's a crown. And the crown, if the treasure is a crown, they receive 3 men in any of the territories that they occupy. So I can get 3 more men. For red, 1, 2, and 3. I should have used my sorcerer there. I forgot about that. So, okay. And that ends the turn 2. So we'll stop there for a second. Okay, now I just found an error in that last turn here. And if you'll notice, the petition card said, for red, let's pull it up here. Move 1 opponent's treasure, and I moved red's own treasure, so I shouldn't have been able to do that. So that was a foul on the part of red. But we'll keep playing here. We'll just keep going. That's kind of what we do. We just kind of do this to learn. I try to play these games, like I say, 5 times before I actually get out there and play it, but there's always a few things I miss, and again, while I'm playing, I tend to forget stuff. So, but we'll keep going. That'll shorten the game a slight bit. Okay, we are back with the orc generation phase. So we'll roll for player 1, and that is going to be in area 1. Going to be a lot of orcs in here. Orcs and dorks. Okay, I'm not sure what happened to I don't remember what happened to Melting Sands. Okay, then player 2, 1 again. Okay, there's 1, bark, bark, and bark. And then player 3 hits a 1. Okay, so we've got this guy and this guy. So we can start with this lowest area, and they're going to attack the castle, area 1. Castles give it the a 2. So orcs will have 3. The men will have 4. So neither side wins, so the orc loses. Okay, now we have, the orcs will have 2, men will have 4. Both sides will lose 1. Orcs will have 1, men will have 2. No, 3, I'm sorry. And oh wait, hold on. That wouldn't occur because this guy's is single, so he's alone by himself. Okay, now we're going to go to area 2. Nothing they can do. Area 3. Again, we start here, and we've got 4 for the orcs and 3 for the castle. So the orcs take a hit. We've got 3 for the orcs, 3 for the castle. Orcs take a hit. We've got 2 for the orcs, 3 for the castle. And orcs take a hit, and that's the end. Okay, and then down here, nobody in Melting Sands, so we move, oh wait, Red Dune. So the orcs will get a 4, and men will get a 1. Nothing, so that means the orc takes a loss. Okay, now the orcs have a 3 to 1. This guy's gone. And we move him here. Now we have 2, and then they're going to start at the lowest region here. So we've got 2 and 2. They'll take a hit. We've got 2 and 1. Nothing, so the orcs take a hit, and that's it. Okay, and I think that's The only things left is this guy, and these guys can't really do anything. So we look at our empty areas. This is an empty area. Not sure how that emptied out last turn, but and that's it. Okay, now the dragon gets to go, and he goes to area 3, 3, 3 and 2 and 3. Mapleville sounds like. Okay, and he gobbles 2 of these guys. Then Peacemaker goes, and Peacemaker's going to move to 5-1. Where is Peacemaker? Area 5, number 1. Oh, he just moves next door here and gives them 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I think that's it. Now we can go to our, so let's see, we've done our orcs, we've done our dragon, we've done our wizards. We go to our first player, and at this point red is first, yellow will be second, blue will be third. We'll start with red drawing a card. And he gives 2 extra men. Okay. So red gets 2 extra men. And then counting up areas, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 more. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now we got to determine where we're going to go. Well, our castle, I think we want to keep it safe. We're going to have this possibly next turn. Well, we are going to have next turn a frenzy, so he's going to be in the frenzy there. Where's my red treasure? There's a red treasure, and there's a red treasure. There's still quite a ways over there. Okay. I think what I'll do is I'll put these guys here, and I'll move my... Where did my... I'm not sure where my I think he was killed off. Okay, I think I lost my hero somewhere along the way, so we'll okay. Now we can make our attack here. We'll attack down here. We can at least get these guys moved out, and we're going to move 4 to 4, 6 to 5, so we lose a guy, and we're attacking these orcs. Okay, we're going to do it again, 4 to 4. We lose another guy. We do it again, 4 to 2, so we lose both guys. Now we're sitting at 4 to 3. We lose both guys. Now we're sitting at 4 to 2. Lose a guy here. 3 to 2. They lose a guy, and 3 to 1. Lose a guy. Try it again, 2 to 1, and at that point this guy's gone. So we can move into Heather Lawn, and we've eliminated orcs from Whispery Meadow, which is good at least until for now. Okay, and that's going to be red's turn. Yellow will go, and first of all we're going to pull a card for yellow. Yellow pulls a card. I give you 1 extra man and allow 1 extra campaign. Okay. Not a bad deal. So yellow's getting an extra man, and then yellow has quite a few territories here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Plus 1, so 10. Okay, I'm going to move my wizard here. Oh, we've got the wizard in this territory, so we can't attack that guy. We're going to have to attack somewhere else. I guess we can move our sorcerer here and attack here, and then attack here. So sorcerer's going to move, and we've got 6, 2, 3, well, 4, 5, 4. I think the double check area. 1. Okay, yeah. So this adds 4. So we've got 6 to 4. 1 and 5. Okay, so that takes him out. Oh wait, hold on. I'll move him against there. 6 to 3. Both sides lose 1. 6 to 1 or 2. And that's going to move him here. And then we're going to move into this area. And then these guys are going to, since this is a sorcerer, he's going to move against those guys. So we're going to go 3, 2, 4. Moves 1. And then 3, 2, 3. Removes 1. 2 to 3. Removes 1. And then 1 to 3. Removes 1. Okay. Now he gets a second attack, and I think for the second attack we're going to go against the castle. Yeah, we'll go against these guys here. So we're going to go 6 to 3. Both sides lose 1. 6 to 1, or 6 to 2. And both sides will lose 1. And then moving forward. Did I just take a 5 out? Let's see. I did. Okay, let's make that 4. And then he came out, took a second one of these guys out. I think that's how it worked. Okay. I'm pretty sure that's how it came out. It's pretty close. Yeah, I got those two mixed up. So, okay, that's the end of yellow's turn. Now blue finally gets to go, and we'll draw a card for blue. Let's see, blue's here. There we go. Place card immediately. I take 1 mana away from the menu you would receive for your kingdom in turns of space. Okay. So we have blue kingdom. This is it. Is there any other blue kingdoms? Nope. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we get 3 men. Okay. Now I think that attacks are. We'll see about an attack. Now this would be a good place to attack. Actually, this will be our place. So we're going to go here. We can move our guy, our hero, and then I'm going to attack with 1, 2, 3, 4 to 2, or 4 to 3. Okay. 4 to 3, nothing. So this guy loses 1. We have 3 to 3. This guy loses 1, and I'm going to move him in here and there. We'll move the hero in to keep that area. Actually, yeah, we'll do that. I think we can hold it for another turn. So, okay. And that ends the turn. So that ends turn, was that turn 3? Alrighty, starting our 4th turn here, and we're going to put some orcs on the board. So player 1 will roll, and area 3 will get some orcs. That's down at the Misty Forest. They get an orc here. Whoops. These orcs are stuck together. That's all. Player 2 rolls a 3, so another orc here. And then player 3 gets a 5. 5 is up at the Ancient Forest. So we'll... Come on. These orcs are really stuck together. There we go. Okay, that's it. Okay, now we can do our frenzies. We'll start on Golden Dunes, and I thought these guys, they may not have frenzied against him last turn, but we'll do it now. Orcs will have 4, and the men will be defending with 5, because they're in a castle. Well, 6, because it'd be 2, so 4 to 6. So the orcs are gone here. 3 to 6. One of these guys is gone, and one orc is gone. And then we're back to 2 to 6. One of these guys is gone, so that's it for those orcs. We go next to this area down here, and we're going to start with... Oh, we can't attack into a dragon area, so this is the only area we can attack into. So we're going to go 4 to 5, both sides. Next we'll go 3 to 4. Neither, so this guy goes. We go 2 to 4, both sides. And then he's down to that 1. Okay. And then finally here, we're going to start with the lowest area. So we've got 10 in here. So that's going to be 4 to 6, or 4 to 4. Neither side, so that's orcs are gone. 3 to 4. Okay, we got to reduce that to 4. 3 to 4. 3 to 4. Wow. 3 to 4. Both sides. 2 to 4. And that ends that. And I think that's all the orc frenzies. We'll fill up any empty spaces. I don't think there are any, but we'll double check here. I don't see any. Okay. Dragon gets to move. Dragon goes to area 1-4, right here. Gobbles the orc. He'll obviously gobble it because he'll roll a 1, and then he gets to go again to 6-1, right here, and gobbles 2 men. Okay, then the wizard goes, and we put him at 1-1. Giving me, whoops, that's a sorcerer. It's hard to keep the wizard and sorcerer apart. Where's the, there we go. And we will put 3 here. Okay, and that ends those preparatory phases. Now the players go, and this time blue will be our first player, followed by red, followed by yellow. I think this looks like a cuckoo clock up here. Like I say, this grows. This map I hated when I first saw it, but it does grow on you. Okay, blue gets to go first, so blue's going to draw their card. I allow you to make 1 extra campaign. Okay, those are always nice. Not sure. I'm kind of looking around here. No real reason to grow any further there. I need to get over to this castle. That's the thing. I might attack from here. Let's see how many. Blue's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 areas. So we get 10 guys. And I think as blue, I'm going to move. Actually, I think I'll do 5 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're going to move these guys. There. So I think I'll move here, and then I will move here to South Hemp. So we're going to go, first of all, against this guy, so it's going to be 5 to 1, which reduces him to nothing, and then we'll go against this orc here, and that's going to be 5 to 3, so again, nothing there. And there we go. Okay, so that's my 2 for blue. We can get rid of that card. We can play that card. So we'll move to red. Okay, red is going to pull a card. And red's card says, play this card immediately. I take away from you any that receive from, I take away from the men you would receive. Oh, you get no, okay, wow, that hurts. Okay, yeah, you don't get any replacements. You see like it takes away 1, but okay, red, what you gonna do? Can't really attack over here. That's gonna hurt. Well, I could cut off green right there. I think I'll do that. So I'm gonna have my, well, that's gonna leave that really open. Not much I can really do that turn. I think red's just gonna stay put. So play the card and stay put. Okay, yellow, because I really don't want to lose anybody if I can help it. Yellow's going to get their card. And that's flip. We can flip that one. Okay, I give you 3 extra men. Okay, so we've got 3 extra men for yellow. And then areas for yellow are going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. 11. Okay, so that's a lot of guys. Wish I would have had that second one, but that's okay. We're going to go here. Here, here, and here. Okay. And we're going to attack blue over here. That's going to be our 1 attack. Oh, I forgot the sorcerers, when they fight, they move these guys back, so... So we're attacking here at Earthen Pass, so they'll move blue back. Works out pretty well, so we're going to go... that's going to be 6 to 4, 5. 6 to 5, and so both sides lose 1. I'm going to put that here. 6 to 3, 4. Both sides lose 1. 1 to 4. And actually it could be, and so that's blue's going to lose 1. And now we're down to 2. 6 to 2. Both sides lose 1. So this will now be 4 guys. And we got to figure out what to do with those blues. I think blue's going to attack right here. Now we're going to go up against the castle because we're going to see if we can reduce those guys a little bit. So blue now has 4, and these guys have 5. Both sides lose 1. Okay, now blue has 3 to 4. Both sides lose 1. 2 to 3. Neither side, so blue loses 1. And then 1 to 3. So blue loses 1. Okay. And we're going to move in here and unmask the crown. The crown, 3 men in any territory they occupy. Okay, that's 3 men. We're going to go 1, 2, 3 men in any territory. Okay. And that would be yellow. So that's the end of turn. We'll go to the next turn. I think it's turn 5. And we'll start with our orc placement. And we get a 2 and a area 2. Oh, area 2 doesn't have any, so that doesn't count. We go to area 4. And we've got this guy, then this guy, and this guy. And finally, area 4 again. So this guy, this guy, this guy. Okay. Now the orcs can frenzy, and they're going to start here and then move away this way. Oh, that's castle. So we can start, we actually have to start here, and we go with Sadberry and then Furman. So we'll go 4 to 3. They lose 1. 4 to 2. Orcs lose 1. 4 to 1. They lose 1, and the orc moves here. Then we go here, 2 to 3. Both sides lose 1. Okay, then we go to, and we should have started with this one, I guess. That's okay, it won't matter. Well, Kettlemead is over here, so we're going to go 4 to 4. Both sides lose 1. 3 to 4. Orcs lose 1. 2 to 4. Both sides lose 1, and that ends that. We go to this castle, and they're going to start here. 4 to 4. Both sides lose 1. 3 to 3, or 3 to 4. Neither so. This guy loses 1. 2 to 4. They lose 1, and that ends the frenzy. Okay. Go check for any areas that are empty. I don't see any. So we can move our dragon. Dragon goes to area 4, or territory 4. Oh, there was one. I see one. Now we can move the dragon. Dragon goes to 4, 4. 4, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so dragon goes over here, and he'll gobble. Then he goes to 4, 5. this guy's gone. Gobbles. Goes to 1/4. Gobbles. Goes to 1/4. Goes to 2/2. And he gobbles 4 guys. So okay, wizard's going to go to 1/4, and nothing there, so that has no effect other than it's going to keep attacks down from this area. Okay. Red now is the first player, and we're going to start with red drawing a card. I give you 1 extra man, but save this card for boat privileges. Okay, well, it's not going to make a huge difference. Red only has 6 guys that he can bring in. I think I missed red up that last time with his reinforcements. That's okay. So 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then he gets an extra man. So where's his extra man going to be? Like I said, I want to try to keep my kingdom together here. Right here. We'll go right there. Okay. We'll play this guy over here, and then we'll attack Hidden Hollow. So we've got a 6-1, and both sides take off, but he goes over here, and we move into this area. And then he's going to fight here. We got 1 and 1, so we lose him. Okay. And so they gained an area. Okay, yellow gets to go. I give you 1 extra man and allow you to make 1 extra attacking campaign. Okay. Yellow has plenty of men. Okay. I think we've got it figured out here, what we're going to do. Yellow's going to gain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 men, plus 1 extra man, so 13 men. There's 5, 10, 3 more. Where am I going to put these guys? I think I'm going to put these guys here. Here and here. I'm going to move this guy into here, and I can use that for that extra attack. So essentially this is going to give me 3 attacks. I can attack the dragon, then I can attack here, and then I can attack here. So we're going to do that. So dragon gets a 6, yellow gets a 5. That's going to be 3 and 1. So both sides. So the dragon's put aside, and we lose a guy, which isn't going to affect us at all. Okay, second attack, or actually this would be your first attack, is going to be a 5 to 2. Actually, it's going to be a 5 to 3 because he's in the forest. So 5 and 3, and that eliminates him. And then we get a 5 and 2, and that eliminates him. And then we can move. Oh, and then I got 6 men for attacking the dragon. I forgot that. So we can pull those guys in. 1 and here. Okay. And then pull up my yellow guy. Let's flip that. That gives me a third attack. Yeah, yellow is just kind of... That's one thing about this game. I think the winner or the leader really can take off pretty quick on this. So this third attack is going to be at a castle, and so this is going to be a 6. So 5 to 6. 5 and 6 is both sides lose 1. Okay, and then we have 5 and 5. Both sides lose 1. 5 and 4. And 5 and 2, or 5 and 3. Okay, 5 and 3, both sides lose 1. And we can move in here with, we'll just move in here. We'll unmask the ring, and the ring gives us another card. I take 2 men away from the ones you would receive when your kingdom spaces this turn, which that's one we ignore. So we can just flip that over. And that would end yellow's turn. Okay, now it's blue's turn. Blue is going to draw a card. And you may send Peacemaker. Okay, we want to send Peacemaker somewhere. We're going to send Peacemaker over here, maybe to keep the attacks down. So we're going to send Peacemaker to Area 2, Number 2. Preston Moore, well, that benefited yellow, so he gets 3 guys. I was hoping blue would get a few people. Okay, blue's going to has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And we'll put this 5 here. Okay. Try to keep yellow from getting that guy. And blue's going to attempt to take this place down here, which should be pretty easy. So we've got 5 to 3. Nothing. So blue loses a guy. We're going to have 4 to 3. And we lose him. And blue marches in. Unmask the ring, and the ring gives us another card. You may send the dragon to the region of your choice, then toss 1 die to determine territory. Make 1 more toss to see what he gobbles. Okay. The dragon could go to where? Well, I could try to reduce Crystal Mountains here. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to move the dragon to territory 6, 1. So he goes to Blood Rock, gobbles 4. Okay, so he takes out these 4. 1, 2, 3, and the and that's that. And I think that ends Blue's turn. So we will pause there for a second. Okay, next turn here, and let's put in some of these orcs. We'll start with area 1. Okay, that's going to put an orc in here, an orc in here, and an orc in here. No castles are adjacent. Second player rolls for area 6. That's an orc here, an orc here, and then third player rolls for area 1 again. Orc here, and an orc here. Okay, now the orcs get to make their little attacks. Nothing. This guy's adjacent, but we'll have to. I guess that's yeah. He's going to attack that castle there. So 4 to 4. That eliminates an orc. Okay, we've got 3 to 4. Eliminates another orc. 2 to 4. Oh, 2 to 5. Those were 5s. Okay, because that's a. Got to count that right. Clone. There we go. Okay, yeah. These guys, they need a little 5 or something on them. That would make those a little clearer, but that's okay. And then 2 to 5. This guy's eliminated. Okay. Let's see. Anybody else there? Nope. Okay. Anybody? No, I guess that's all for the frenzies. You get less frenzies as the game goes on. It's sometimes fun when sometimes the orcs go completely nuts and cover the board. That's when the game really gets to be wild. But I've had the orcs actually frenzy over the whole map before. It's not very often, but oh, forget this guy. Okay, next the dragon. Where is he? He's right here. Roll a 2 and a 2. Okay, he's going here. I don't know whether if you leave an area empty, whether an orc goes in there with a dragon in it. I don't think they would, but we'll just say so. I guess he'll gobble. So he gobbles up 3 guys. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. A wizard's going to go 1 and 3, so he's going to go to area 1, number 3, giving red 3 guys. Okay, and that's the preliminaries. Now, yellow will start first by drawing a card. If you give, we have much, otherwise you may use this card for an extra attack campaign. Well, that works out pretty good for yellow. I'm thinking yellow can try to move through down here. That might be the big thing to do, try to get that last guy. Otherwise, I don't see a lot of other choices. So let's count up how many yellow. 1, 2, 3. Oh, you know what? Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, he can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wait, let's try it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 areas. And there's our 14 guys. And so we'll attack here, and then we'll attack here. And I'm going to use my sorcerer, blue sorcerer, no, yellow sorcerer. Okay, he's here, and we're going to move him to this stack, so I can use a 6 to 4. So these guys get their 6, and these guys get their 1, so they both reduce by 1. And I'm going to put him here. Let's just replace these guys. 3, 4. And then these guys reduce by 1. Okay. Now we've got 6 to 4. Both sides reduce, and I'm going to put him here. And we'll take away 1 here. 6 to 3. Both sides reduce. We'll put him here and here, and then 6 to 2. Both sides reduce. Yellow's kind of taking a little bit of a hit. And then 6 to 1, and that's going to reduce this guy. So these guys will move into the territory. And then these blue will attack 2 to 3. Reduces him. We'll go 2 to 2. There. 2 to 1. Nothing, so this guy's gone. Oops. And then 1 to 1. Nothing, so this guy's gone. Okay. Here we've got 3 to 1. Nothing. 2 to 1. Nothing. And 1 to 1. And that'll get rid of this guy. Okay. Now, yellow is going to play that card for that second attack. And we're going to flip it. And we're going to go and we're going to attack right down here. Actually, we'll move into the area. I'm going to use these guys. And we're going to keep it 6 to 4. So we're going to move a guy here. 6 to 3. Um, 6 to 2. Nothing. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 6 to 2. And that'll get this guy here. 6 to 1. Nothing. So we can take a guy off here. Or no, 6. That's a 6. So yeah, that goes. So we'll put him here. Okay, and then we'll move into that as soon as these guys get done. We've got 2 to 1. 2 to 1. Both sides lose 1. And that'll send that guy into that territory. Here we've got 2 to 3. We lose 1. 2 to 2. Both sides lose 1. And 1 to 1. And he lost that guy. So there's that guy. And then these guys will move in here. Okay, and that would be yellow's turn. Okay, next blue's turn. Poor blue. Blue's really not doing well. We'll start with blue drawing a card. And we've already done that. So petition card. Let's see. Play this meat. Take 1 mana away from the men you receive from your kingdom spaces. So we lose 1. Blue's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 men. So they get 6 guys. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And yeah, not really much else I can do. If I would have got an extra attack, I probably would have taken this and then gone after this guy here and then here, and I could have won the game doing that, but didn't get that extra attack, so... The right card could have won me the game, but... Okay, that's the end of that blue's turn, so red gets to go. And we're saving this for boat privileges. I don't think we're going to need it, but we'll do it anyway. You may move one opponent's treasure from its current space on the board to any... Okay, so it's an opponent. We got to remember that. I'm concerned about yellow. As red, I'm concerned about yellow's treasure, so I'm going to work with blue to try to move that down. There. And so now red can add their pieces. Red controls one region right here. And nobody else. Okay, so that means they get 4 pieces, which we'll put right here. 2, and then for these 2, I'm going to have to change this to a hero. So I'm going to add my 2 guys. Let's see where pieces are. And I'm just going to add a hero there for instead of 2, because I'm going to have to change this guy out in order to attack this castle. I can just make 1 attack. I don't think there's a... Yeah, I don't think there's anything else I can do. It looks pretty grim because red's going to have to attack here or here. I don't get a bonus attack, so I can just make 1. I could attack here and use all those guys. It's not really going to make a difference. Let's go ahead and go against this hero here. I've got a pretty robust group. So that's going to be 5, and this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's going to be 5 to 6. So both sides hit, hit, and hit. And then roll again a 3 and a 2. Both sides are going to hit with that. Roll again a 5 and a 5. Now these guys got a 5. Now these guys got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So both sides will hit. Now we're at 5 and 4. That's a hit. And then a 5 and 3. That's a hit. Actually, that's a 1, 2, 3, 4 and 3. Okay, 4 and 3. Still it would have hit. Hold on, let's go back. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 and 4. Okay, 4 and 4. Both sides hit. We've got a 3 and 3. Neither side hits, so he's off. And then 2 and 3. And that would be him here, and then he can't attack. So, okay, I guess that's it. Yeah, so that would be the end of red's turn. And that would be the end of the overall turn. So we will move red up to the top of the line. We're going to see about our orcs coming in. So we roll a 4. That's going to get them here, 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 and here. We roll a 6. So that's going to be here, here, and here, and then a 2. Nobody's in 2, so we're good there. No adjacents? No. Okay. Orcs make their little orc things. We'll start with, I guess this is the only area where there's a frenzy. And they're going to frenzy against the lower, this is area 5, this is area, so they'll start here on Fernham. We got a 4 to a 2. So that's 1, and then a 4 to a 1. That's going to do him here, and we'll take that. And then we've got a 3 to a 3, 3 and 3. 3 and 2. Okay. And that's that. Now then, any empty areas? We don't have any empty areas, so we go to our dragon phase. Dragon's moving into 1, 4, and gobbles this guy. He gets to go again. 6 and 5. Here. And then what he rolls, he's going to gobble. Okay, the wizard goes. Wizard's going to go to area 5. Number 5. Okay. And we'll get a orc there. Okay, that's it. Now we move to our turns. Red gets to go first. Red's only going to get 4 guys again. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. Gonna try to attack yellow. Oh, we gotta get our cards. I always forget that. I give you 1 extra man to say and save this card for boat privileges. Well, not much. That's not much help. So okay. If we want to get this and take the castle, if we were able to make it another turn, we would, either way I'm kind of sunk. If I was able to take the castle, at least give me another extra guy. So we're going to say this is 3, and then this is going to be 5. 5 and 3, neither side goes. Okay, it's still 5 and 3, and both sides. So we take that guy, and we just move 1 guy in. Okay. Now yellow gets to go, and this is going to be pretty much it. Yellow is going to need to bring a hero in for, let's see how much, wait, first of all, get those cards. Okay, there's yellow. Petition card is going to be, I give you 1 extra man and allow 1 extra campaign. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 guys. So we will go 2 and 12. We can go clone, 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 clone. Okay. Then we can make our attack. And we have 2 attacks we can make, but that won't really matter. So we're going to go 5 to 5. Both sides lose 1. Okay, we roll again. It's going to be 3 to, that would have been 5 to 4. Okay, now it's going to be 3 to 5, 5 to 3. Let's roll it again. Just roll it. 5 and 3. So there's 1 more. Okay, now it's 1, 2 to 5, or I mean 5 to 2. And that's going to get him out, and then it's going to be 5 to 1, and that would be it. And that would win. That would end the game. Yellow would move in. They'd take the treasure chest, and they would have all 3 treasures. So yeah, everything was pretty much done a couple turns ago, except for the crying. I think I got. Let's see. I did move my dragon. Yeah, I got those guys moved. So anyway, that's the game. It's a fun game. I could have played this a lot better. As usual, my gameplay is not that great when I'm just playing by myself against the computer and not, with the rules. It's a lot easier playing with another person where we can look at the rules and bounce problems off of each other. But still, it gives a game. I don't know how I ended up with a guy down here like that. But okay, but that's what I've got. Anyway, good game. I like it. That's pretty much what I got for the week. We'll talk to you later. Bye.